Yeah, we can go to Vanuatu. So sensational. I love my brochures. I'm so sorry that I spend so much time on them with my graphic artist. After about 35 takes, we get it right. The guy's so patient with me. Vanuatu. Oh my goodness. So George and myself went there in when? Four weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, yeah.
Oh, 9 days before the Christmas party, we came back. So we went to Vanuatu. We flew Solomon Airlines. We are flying Solomon Airlines. That's why we're leaving on a Thursday, getting back on a Thursday. That's their schedule. Solomon Airlines is a sensational airline. We've got you a meal on the flight. It's only a 2.5 hour flight, but we've got you a meal on the flight, and it's so much leg room. The seats are wider. It's fantastic. They're not shrimping on space, that's for sure. Staff are absolutely gorgeous on the flight. You're going to get off the aeroplane, and when you arrive, the culture's going to hit you straight in the face. It's incredible. Now, there's no duty free shops in Espirito Santo. So the island's actually called Espirito Santo. The guy that discovered it was called it that. Espirito, I believe, is means the Holy Spirit or Spirit, like of the universe. And the people there are very, very beautiful people. It is said that people in Vanuatu are the happiest people. Don't you? You'll make me want to have a cry at some of these photos because these were beautiful experiences. This guy here is the engineer and runs they're the hotel rooms. Oh, I'm looking at this. The blue hole. Don't get me started. Those kids. Just look at them. Just have a look at them. Um, it's yeah, anyway. So, Georgie, when you do this with photos, I get so sidetracked, but keep going. I love it. That cat had never seen a drone in its life and it was ready to pounce on it. And I said, you better get that cat out of there. That's Champagne Beach. That is just so beautiful. We've got such an exciting time planned for you. That spot there, that's where the dive operators are. But we really do have incredible time planned for you all for Vanuatu. I'm actually really excited. I'm so excited about Bali. I always am. But in Vanuatu, there's no air conditioning in the airport. You're walking into a developing country. Okay, it's not Fiji. It's not Bali. It's Vanuatu. The island's been very protected. I think it's Afata is the island where Port Vila is. Port Vila, I did look at Port Vila to go there to do some diving. They did get their coral reef smashed by the earthquake and cyclones, and that particular island protects Espirito Santo. So Espirito Santo is just phenomenal. The coral reefs, the blue holes, the lagoons. That spot there, I'm going to tell you about. This spot here, I'm going to tell you about. I put it into the trip because I didn't want to leave, and I had that Zen moment when I was there. Um, Pretty much like we've had in Greece. It's me talking to somebody. Um, I just said that is incredible. That's the blue hole. So I'm going to tell you about the blue hole. So when you hit Vanuatu, you're going to go through immigration. Once I've got everybody booked on the flight and I can get my spreadsheets to the airport, which is really important. So the sooner I get it filled up, and it will be filled up, um, I'm going to get the spreadsheets into the airport and get you the closest to the front of the plane as I possibly can so I can get you. The people are just so beautiful. They're just incredible. Um, don't get me started on the children. They're just everywhere, and I'm just chatting away to them all the time. So that's a swimming pool at the hotel. So we're trying to get you through immigration really, really quickly. And so I'm going to try and get you to the front of the plane because I learned a lot on going on this trip that they've only got one way of coming out down the front. Then you queue up through immigration, and it's hot, and it's got no air conditioning. There's big fans everywhere, and the culture hits you straight away. So Vanuatu is amazing. We arrive, we get picked up by shuttle. We've arranged some really nice shuttles. We've experienced the shuttles in Vanuatu, and some of them aren't so great. Like I say, it's a developing country. We've got a shuttle service with really comfortable shuttles. So we're going to arrive, um, and on the first day, we're going to be at the hotel. You're going to be staying right in the heart of Luganville. You're going to be right in it amongst the culture and the people. You've got, and it's set up for you. The shops are nearby. Don't get really excited about markets and shopping in Vanuatu. It's not really about that. They've got their local market there. You can get up early in the morning. You can grab some fruit and a few things. But Luganville is got everything there you need. It's got supermarkets right next to the hotel room. Now, with Vanuatu, because of getting goods over there, the meals in Vanuatu are not like Bali. So they're equivalent to Australian prices, the meals over there. But what we're going to do is give you a map of Vanuatu, of Luganville, where you can go and get some really good eats. There's like a Chinese restaurant. There is there's a supermarket at the back of it. They've got this section where you can buy hot food and roast chickens and pastries, and you can shop smart and eat smart. You are going to have um, with the hotel. When we get to the hotel, I'll talk about the hotel. The hotel I have completely booked out. There's not a lot of large hotels in Vanuatu, and so we've taken over the whole hotel. It's based on twin and triple share. I did have a quad room, but I've taken that out now. I was able to get an extra room, and it's a room for a couple with a fridge and a kitchenette. So I was able to get my hands on that. Um, so we've taken over the whole of the hotel. In dealing with the staff of the hotel and meeting the owners, Raymond and Simon, they're actually locals that own the establishment. They've got a nice swimming pool. You've got a restaurant there. They have specials every day. They have a happy hour. On the night that we arrive, I'm doing a welcome dinner. Now, you're going to have breakfast every day. And what you're going to have is in your breakfast is a menu that you can order, because most hotels have a continental breakfast because of the price of food over there. And what we've arranged is for you to be able to order a hot meal at breakfast, because you're going to go scuba diving and whatever. Plus, you're going to have included in that breakfast is your coffee, tea, cereals, tropical fruits, and the fruits are sensational. They're to die for. They're just the pineapple, the mangoes, the pawpaw is incredible. So you're going to have tropical fruits. You're going to have pastries and cake and cereals, coffee, tea. That's all going to be in a buffet for you. And then off the menu, you're going to be able every morning to order something hot, like an omelette or sausages and eggs, and toast, of course, comes with everything and your spreads. So you can order pancakes or whatever you like for breakfast. So that is included in your package. On that on that first night, we're having a welcome dinner with a band, and you're going to have a buffet, and you are going to have a drink included in there, a cocktail. So we've looked after you on the first day. The next day is probably the one closest to my heart. Uh, George and myself hired a driver called Peter, and we got Peter to drive us around Vanuatu, and he drove us to the Blue Hole. And the Blue Hole is a lagoon with decking all around it. You pay probably about 15 Australian dollars to get in there. They've got a little kiosk there, and the Blue Hole, you can swim in there, and a blue hole. It's like you do not miss the blue hole. And so we went to the blue hole, and you'll see if you go back on the Vanuatu video, you'll see me going, this is incredible. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like gobsmacked. Then we went up to Champagne Beach, and he drove us up to Champagne Beach, and that was beautiful. Meals there were pricey in US dollars. And the cruise boats come in there, so a little bit commercial up at Champagne Beach, but it's definitely worth going to visit. Then we went up to a place called Port Oly, and I think my heart stopped beating at Port Oly. I lived in Greece for a year. George is Greek, and we've both been over many times. And it was like time stood still. There were children running around, and this beautiful, beautiful big restaurant called Ches
Chez, chez, Chez Louis.
Chez Louis, and it's the gentleman that owns it. So what we've arranged, and you sit there and you can have a cocktail. So you're going to get a welcome drink. And at this place, it's right on the beach. You're right on the beach. You're going to sit down at a table and you're going to go, wow. And you're just, what we're going to do is take you to the Blue Hole first, and that's all inclusive. We've covered on this first day. We've covered the Blue Hole. We're getting them to serve you a drink and tropical fruit. And then we're going to go to Port Orley, which is about another 35-minute drive up the road, right to the end. Now, at Port Orley, you're going to see the culture. You're going to see villages. You're going to experience so much. You're going to sit at this restaurant, and you're going to have this beautiful buffet lunch, and you're going to sit there and drink and eat, and you're going to swim and snorkel to your heart's content. So that's the first day that we've done it. George and myself were sitting there, and I said, we have got to do this for the group. We have got to take them here. We've got to put this into the experience for everybody because it meant so much for us. Now, we've arranged really great shuttles for you because the roads can get bumpy now and then. They're working on the roads. They should be great by the time we get there. Um, Port Orley, wow, 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 wow. I just can't believe it. Um, so that's going to be all inclusive, your shuttle, blue hole, entry fees, buffet lunch, unlimited snorkeling and swimming all day. You're going to feel like you're on like your own little deserted island. Hopefully, we'll be there when school comes out, and that some of the kids from the school will come over. Great time to give the children some gifts and some. I take school supplies last time I went and gave them to a village, and they were overwhelmed. I had a suitcase full of school supplies. But we'll go through that. Don't go crazy buying anything because it's hard to get things through immigration. Though, in our experience in Vanuatu, we got to know the man that runs the airport over there, and he looks after George and myself. So we got to know some families over there, and we got really good connections. Um, so that's the day we got planned for you on the second day. Your I hope you get as much joy out of that day as I did, and that's something really special that I want to share with you all in Vanuatu. Then you're going to have a water day. I'm going to let George talk about that because he knows about that. We're doing 3 dives to SS Coolidge because it's so big. $1 Million Point, we're doing 1 dive, 1 snorkel at $1 Million Point. Then we're popping the snorkelers on boats, and we're taking you out to the coral reefs, and there's a lot to see close into the islands as well. The snorkeling's phenomenal. I won't steal George's joy there. You've got 2 water days. On that night, on the first water day, back at the hotel, there's a karaoke night. So you can be at the hotel and have karaoke and have a lot of fun. We're going to be, having a few drinks and karaoke. They've got a pool room there as well, right next to the bar. You can play some pool. Love the hotel. What's great about this hotel is they do room service every day in Vanuatu. The hotels sometimes do room service in the middle of the week, and that's it because it's
You mean servicing of the like housekeeping service?
yeah, the housekeeping service, room service, sorry, housekeeping. So housekeeping every day at the hotel. Um, the manager that's going to look after you as soon as you arrive at the hotel is going to give you her WhatsApp number. So if there's anything that you need at the hotel or you're not getting or it's not happening, you can just get in touch with Cindy. She's absolutely gorgeous. And Cindy's going to look after you and you're going to be able to go through her. I would like to think if you, on any of our trips, if you're having a challenge with anything, that you approach me if it's a challenge so I can rectify it with the hotel management. Yeah, I'd really appreciate that on all of our trips. Um, so that night we got karaoke. I think that's a Friday night. You got another water day. You're going to do SS Coolidge double dive, and then you're out in the coral reefs, which is sensational snorkeling. The dive operator we know really well. We've known him for a while, Jack. He's an Australian fella that owns the business over there, and he knows we want Hollywood under the water. Uh, there is a band on that night, on the second dive night at the hotel. So you can go to the hotel, you can go up the road. You're going to get back. One thing that's really good about this trip, you're going to get back by around lunchtime. So you're going to have a lot of downtime as well. So you're going to be able to go to the museum, which is in just near you, the war museums, markets, shops. The shops are okay, but if you want to go and buy a dress like you saw me wear before, a typical Vanuatu style dress, you can certainly go in there and they'll sew you one up and make one for you. And I've got one and I love it. That was a gift from some of the staff at the hotel we stayed at. We went to their village and they made us dinner and they gifted us George with the Vanuatu shirt and me with a Vanuatu dress. And it was a very touching moment. When George and myself go somewhere, we do get involved with the culture and we dig in and dig in and dig in. And we've built some great contacts in Vanuatu to give you a great experience. Just Luganville itself, like I said, supermarkets, you can buy bottled water there. You can have a fridge, a TV, a hairdryer, everything in your room. Ironing board, you just ask reception, they'll bring an ironing board up to your room and iron. So it's a great time. Then you've got a day off, and that's probably a good day. You can either go to the waterfalls, there's so much to do. We've got a driver who's going to give you a really good price. If you want to pool together, you can get Peter, and there's other drivers. Cabs are really cheap over there to get around as well. You know, $5 to get around locally, $10 to get somewhere, you know, with a bit of a distance, Australian dollars. So the cabs are amazing. This is all off the top of my head. I'm not even reading anything because I've just put this trip together and I've put it together with my heart and with my passion, because I really did fall in love with Espirito Santo. And I'm really thrilled to be able to share it with the group and put it together. Uh, on the last day of diving, you're going to be taken to a local Thai restaurant. She's only open for lunch, and she's going to make you all a gorgeous Thai meal. And she's a local lady that we've met through our contacts, and the dive operator is going to take you up there. That's all included. So you're going to have you're going to have a couple of lunches, all your breakfasts, two dinners paid for. We've sussed out a night light carver bar, and our local Australian dive operator um, found that, and he says, "I've got to take you guys up to the light carver bar. It's sensational." And so that's another experience that we're going to do. Take you to the light carver bar at night, and it doesn't mean you have to have carver. You can order a drink or beer, but it's called the Carver, and it's really popular with the locals. We just want you to have a local experience, and as much as possible. On your days off, you can do Champagne Beach. You can. There's so much to see and experience, and the hotel will look after you in regards to anything that you want to do. You might just want to hang around the pool in Luganville. And the locals are right in your face. The school kids after school, they're right in your face. They love seeing you, and they know that they can tell you're a tourist, and they're all very friendly, all chatty, and it's lovely. So everything's there. You've got about 4 or 5 supermarkets around you to buy anything you need. You're going to have a bar fridge in your rooms. I think that's really important. You can stock up on water, and water days. You will have refreshments and bottled water. I'm making sure of that and paying for that for everybody. Um, and then yeah, you've got these amazing days off that you can do whatever you like. And then on the last night, I've ordered and organized, and I think there's 30 of them. They're called the Bamboo Boys, and they're going to give you a cultural time of your life of dancing. And I don't know what I haven't seen them in action. The Fiji dancers were incredible on the farewell dinner. John Shuttleworth was there. It was a sensational night. On these dinners, of course, I'm shouting you all a cocktail, and they have happy hour there as well at the hotel, and they always have a specials board every day, so you can grab a reasonably priced meal. We've checked out a lot of some of the restaurants, and they're a little bit pricey, and I think the hotel are actually very reasonably priced compared to other hotels and establishments around the place, just outside of Luganville. Yeah, the last night is going to be a sensational night with the Bamboo Boys. I can't wait. Cindy's organising it for me and hunting them down, and getting it in the schedule. This is all included in your trip. You're going to have a barbecue buffet that night, and you're going to be entertained, and cocktails, and yeah, it's going to be a fantastic farewell dinner night before we go home. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can say. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the hotel itself. George found some eating houses and eating places and sneaky little things around the place. When you actually get off at the airport, there's a kiosk there, and this woman does meatballs on rice, and it is to die for. I mean, I've got to go buy one of those and take it back to the hotel and put it in my fridge. I'll eat that cold. That was so good. So there's lots of things that we can show you and share with you in Vanuatu. We're just really excited about taking the group there. And as you can see with my smile on my face and the passion I'm speaking with, it really means a lot to share it with the group. I'm going to shut up now, George, and let you talk.
Please shut up, Sharon. So I went my first group to Espirito Santo about 12 years ago, and it was purely a dive trip, And what we've got now is I took Sharon along, and she's Sharonized it, and she was bawling the whole week from joy and elation as she started to sew this trip together. And I just want to, before I get into the water side, the choice of hotel location, we are right in town. You wake up early in the morning and you walk outside to the street, and you will see the people walking down the main street carrying fishing nets and tools and shades, spades and shovels, and they're going to work. And the shops sort of open up about 8 a.m., the supermarkets. And Sharon and I have scoped out all of the proper eating places that we'd like you to go to. There's street food, that's okay, but we prefer that you go to some of the places that we've recommended. They're like cafes that are more Western style, and the prices are quite reasonable. And there's also supermarkets within walking distance, like 100 metres of the hotel. Turn right, turn left, and you can get your traditional supermarket supplies, chocolates, potato chips, soft drinks, water, and then one of them's got a bain marie down the back, and they'll make you salad and chickens and chips. So great location. Sharon was weeping after she designed the first day.
I wasn't weeping.
And she's found a great operator with great buses, and she's organised this trip where we're heading up north. We're going to the Blue Hole. She's negotiated a fruit platter, I think. The fruit in Vanuatu is so sweet and amazing. It'll just blow you away. And then she's taking you to Port Henry, and we're going to spend the afternoon after the Blue Hole having a buffet lunch at Chez Louis restaurant. So signature day. Sharon loves it. On your off days, you can do a similar trip. You can go to Champagne Beach. You can do waterfalls. There's a lot of great things you can do in Vanuatu. Okay, so let's talk about the diving. The thrill for scuba divers in Vanuatu is the SS President Coolidge, which was a luxury cruise liner, an American one built by government funds, US funds, on the basis that if there was a war, the government was going to take it over and use it as a troop carrier. Well, that happened. A war came out, and they just made some conversions, and they shoved 4,500 troops, and they're moving around the place. And as it was coming into Vanuatu on one particular journey, it hit a landmine, and the skipper beached it. 4,500 people got off, and then the boat slid back. And the bows at about, I think, 8 meters depth, and the deepest part, the swimming pool, is down at about 55 meters, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 gazetted dives on that vessel, but on your 2 spare days, you can actually arrange more dives in the Coolidge, so you can dive deeper and deeper and deeper. I've dived down to 55 meters in the Coolidge. It's quite extraordinary diving, and I got down to the bottom, and the swimming pool. Do you remember the old mosaic tiles, little hexagonal tiles, and they were multiple colours? You might have had them in your bathrooms at homes, but you're probably a little bit young for that. Anyway,
I'm not.
dusted the mud away, and there's a mosaic. Then we went through the engine room, and you could see the boilers and instruments, and came through, and we went to the medical rooms, and there's jars of tools in there, jars of stainless steel tweezers. There's a munitions room where you'll see boxes of bullets. Then there's hold 1 and hold 2 where there's tanks and jeeps. And
Is this $1 million point?
no, this is the Coolidge.
Still the Coolidge.
And then so much great stuff to see. There's a big dining room in there, and you'll see in the YouTube video, it's called a lady. It's an ornament, and she was when they were converting it to a troop carrier, she was buried between some plywood, but somehow she mysteriously popped out, and that's one place we'll definitely take you. You can also do a night dive in the Coolidge, and
we've actually included that in the trip.
Oh, the night dive. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah. And you'll see there's these little torchfish. They're fish about this big. So you go down, you walk down at dusk, and by the time you get into the hole, it's pitch black. Turn your torches off, and after about 3 or 4 minutes, these little torchfish start to. It's like an LED display, really cool stuff. So the Coolidge in itself is a cultural situation. It's 55 meters. They can take you down deep with an aid, with an open water, but if you're going to do it, we've got plenty of time. I suggest you get your advance done here in Australia. Ordinarily to go and do a wreck like this and penetrate it, you need a deep dive certification and you need a penetration certification. With these guys here, because you're going to be accompanied, they will hold your hand and they'll make sure, and you won't need any special certification, but I would like you to get your advanced if you're going to go to depth. So just looking at it from a diver's perspective, you can use their gear. They've got Apex gear and Apex regs and, really top quality gear. But what Sharon omitted to tell you is that with Air Vanuatu, we've got 30 kilos of luggage each, plus she's negotiated another 7 kilos each to help us with our dive gear. So you'll be able to take 30.
And you've got, all up, you've got 44 kilos. So you've got 7 kilos carry on.
Yep.
And you've got 37 kilos between 2 bags.
Yep.
So everybody can take their own dive gear if they.
Yeah, or the other way you can look at it is if you've got a really tiny boyfriend or girlfriend, shove them in your bags and bring them over as well. Yeah, that'd work. So, look,
24-kilo girlfriend.
It's really, really well thought out. Sharon, she did talk up Solomon, and The seats are wider. I can wiggle my bum.
Yeah, it was good.
This much leg room between my knees and the seat in front. We had breakfast. There was two choices of brekkie on the way over. And then straight away, you can have free beer or soft drink at their expense, right? And on the way back, you have like a lunch, choice of two, and beer and soft drink as well. So she's really ticked all our boxes really nicely. Great airline, leaves early, arrives early. The staff are gorgeous. The women and the guys are handsome and beautiful. You're just going to love that experience. So anyway, back to the diving. So on day one, scuba divers, we're going to do one dive at the Coolidge. So we're going to check you out. They're going to check you out, evaluate you, see how good you are. Then $1 Million Point is 3 minutes up the road. They're going to drive us up to $1 Million Point.
I think you're going to do $1 Million Point first.
Yeah, and then
So after you dive the Coolidge, there's a 1.5 hour wait before you do another dive.
We're doing 1.5 hour surface intervals. So $1 Million Point was a scenario where there was a whole lot of military gear that was left over after the war, and the Americans contacted the French and said, "Hey, do you want this gear? We'll give you a good price on it." And the French said, "No, we don't." And they kept trying to negotiate it. They got down to 20%. The French said, "We don't want it." So the Americans, you know what they did? They got a big bulldozer and they bulldozed it into $1 Million Point. And so when you go there, there's tanks and jeeps and quarrying gear and mining gear in the water.
Bruce Mayer's going to love it.
It's beautiful, beautiful, and it's probably, and there's a beautiful wreck there as well, and probably maximum 15 meters, no current, a bit of marine life in there as well. So it's really, really, really good diving, scuba diving.
Yeah, I believe you're going to do a snorkel there as well.
Right.
Jack says that's snorkel worthy.
Sharon, my turn. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So day two, you're going to do two Coolidges. And then after that, what we're going to do is the dive shop's going to take us on these, banana boats. So they're banana boats, and you get on the banana boat with your dive gear, and 10 minutes away from the dive shop, there's all these islands, and they are pristine reef snorkeling, and you're going to see some of the best corals you've ever seen in the world. In fact, I've got to be honest with you, when I was looking at the footage just half an hour ago, as we showed you, some of that stuff is actually better than Lady Elliot. It's actually better than Lady Elliot, yeah, and better than Fiji as well. So scuba divers, you're going to get this sort of blend of real heavy diving, and you're going to get $1 Million Point. Then you're going to go on the banana boats, and you're going to go to these fresh islands, and you're going to do a backward roll off this banana boat, and you're going to go in water that's only 10, 12 meters deep, and you're going to see some amazing stuff. There's drop-offs and all this really cool stuff. So Sharon's got the sequence really well done. You'll be able to buy extra dives in the Coolidge. A lot of people just want to go for the Coolidge. I get ya. I really do. I'm only going to do 3, and I'm going to spend the rest of the time doing some dives on the islands. Now, snorkelers, you will be smacked by the experience. It is going to be, many of us have been to Fiji. Fiji's fantastic. I'd probably rate this a couple of notches above Fiji. And once again, that'll be, I think they're going to snorkel $1 Million Point and the Coolidge as well. But then we're going to go on banana boats for 2 or 3 days, and we're going to be exploring all these islands. That is something that you're going to love, I guarantee you. Take out, the boats aren't covered, so you need to take, plenty of headgear. They're going to have bottled water for you. These guys in Vanuatu, guys and girls, they'll go to the markets, they'll buy fruit. Doesn't look like much. And then they've got all these knives, and they create these amazing platters of fruit that you will eat during your surface intervals. So once again, you're going to be well lubricated, well fed. Want to make sure that you're always well covered over there. Plenty of sunscreen, plenty of lycra. Experiences are pretty amazing. So just let's benchmark stuff. Bali's a fairly well developed place. You're staying in a 4 or 5 star hotel, and diving and snorkeling is pretty cool. Fiji, for those of you that went, Fiji is, you're staying in a resort stuck in the middle of Fiji, a little bit landlocked there, but you see some good stuff. Here in Vanuatu, Very, very different. It's a developing country. Sharon's done her best to, I don't like the word, but exploit the best out of the sites and the foods and the cultures. So she really has packaged up a great trip. Our dive operators are pristine, and yeah, you're gonna have an absolute ball. So I think that's about it. So is there any questions that anybody may have on above land or below land for Bali and or Vanuatu?
Kim wants to know for Bali, is there any gluten-free and lactose intolerance meal options?
Yeah, I'm sure that in Bali they'd be able to do that.
That hotel will, for
Right.
sure.
Tim's just got to let Helen know her dietary requirements, and I will make sure that they're on it.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Sharon.
She said thank
You're welcome. Little voice from the deep.
Yeah.
I just had a chocolate, so now I'm in agony.
You're suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody?
Just Vanuatu, there was something.
Well, can I talk about currency?
You're
So,
gonna
just give me a sec, Sharon. As we start to travel around, we're finding the best exchange rates you can get are via an ATM. So I played around with it. I bought some currency at Brisbane Airport, and then by the time I spent that, I just went to Bread Bank, BRED, shoved in my NZ card, pulled 20,000 Vatus out, which is I think about $300, and my exchange rate was 30% better at the ATM than at the airport. And also there's a Western currency exchanger as well. It was still far better than that. So if you've got an ATM card and you're happy to use it overseas, happy days. You're only in Vanuatu, give me a sec, Johnny, going to use cash. No one's got, unless you go to the supermarket, they will take your EFTPOS. Cabs are 150 Vatu for any journey around town. And there's also, there's these bus.
$3.
Yeah, and there's all these buses for 200 Vatu. We'll take you a bit further out, but yeah, going to be piled in a Toyota van with 10 or 20 other locals. Johnny, fire away.
Before we went to Fiji, I got money from Australia Post here.
How did that go?
The exchange rate was great.
Yeah, good. Okay, good.
That's good. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So cashed up to Vanuatu before you go. Bali, what did we do? I think we just went to an ATM at the airport, Sharon. So yeah,
We're flying by the seat of our pants because we were both working, and we just sort of.
yeah.
George got back that night before, and I had the bags packed, and we flew out the next day. He was on a national company, and so he came in half dead and
Half alive. All right, any other
half
questions?
alive.
It's been a massive night. It's been 1 hour, 40 minutes. So I want to thank you all. And I'm going to upload this to YouTube and get it up by the morning if you want to replay it. And if you're interested, if you've got any questions, reach out to Sharon for Above Land, me regarding.
Look, I've still got inquiries coming through for Bali, which is really great. It's Christmas, and people are still inquiring. This week I've had a couple of inquiries for Bali, and also how many spots have I got left for Bali? I have had a couple of people that aren't able to make it due to personal reasons. So I think I've got about 6 or 7 spots left for Bali. Vanuatu, we've had quite a few bookings for Vanuatu. If you go on the event, I think 14 people have pressed going, and we've got a whole load of people that are interested. So with Vanuatu, I'd say first in, best dressed with your rooms, because you're gonna, like I said, it's based on double and triple share. Unfortunately, at this stage, I have no single upgrades in Vanuatu because we're taking the whole hotel. There's not a lot of big hotels over there. It's a developing country, and so I will match you up as people come in and discuss with who would your room buddies be if you were coming to Vanuatu, and then talk you through it as people kept booking and let you know. So I'll be, and the rooms are spacious too. They're pretty spacious. So
Okay.
I've been in them.
For those of you that like disco, what's the name of that nightclub, Sharon? Was it Lollipop?
Yeah, there's a Lollipops nightclub.
Take you to
We
that
didn't go, but I'm tempted.
nightclub.
I'm tempted to get in a cab and go to Lollipops. If Jack Power says it's okay to go to, he's the dive operator, because he's Jack Power's really cool. He's a 37-year-old Aussie boy. And if Jack says Lollipops is cool, we'll go to Lollipops one
Cool.
night. But
And the good thing, so on the way back from the dive shop back to the hotel, it's probably about a 15-minute drive, but 5 minutes down the road from the dive shop is this probably the best Thai restaurant in town. Now, she's a Thai woman. She's set up a shipping container. It's so hot in there. And she's got her own herb garden behind. And, she's growing ginger and garlic and chili. And the meals are great price and just fantastic. So we'll try and make sure that on the way back that we stop in there because the meals are...
don't forget that other place that we went to. So about 10 minutes out of Luganville, we drove and we're driving up the main road, and then we turn right into like this industrial type street. And then all of a sudden we're at this sandbar and we're on the water, and it was just sensational.
Yeah.
It was just so many places. It's sort of like a little, like Bali's in your face. It's right in your face.
See ya.
You see, it's Bali's right in your face. But Vanuatu, I went digging and digging and digging and got to know locals and met one person that was his second brother. They call cousins second brothers. So second brothers, and we went digging, and we just put together this trip. And
Sharon, I think
exciting.
one up. Sharon, well done. You've done a great job putting it all together.